Sir, we'll go to you in the back.
Yeah, I have two issues I'd like to bring up. I'll try to be as quick as I can.
Yes, sir.
The first one has to do with the military budget. And
Okay.
I don't want to refer to it as a defense budget because it doesn't really have much to do with defending the country. It has to do with the military. And we have just seen a bipartisan majority in both houses of Congress pass a major increase in military spending. And it took the U.S. from spending more than the next 7 largest military spenders combined, 5 of which are U.S. allies, to now spending more than the next 10 or 11 largest military spenders combined. And if there's anybody in this room who has the illusion that this has created security for us, it has not. And it's important to recognize, I mean, I'm 68 years old. More than half of my life, our government has sent young men, and more recently men and women, into wars. And not one of those wars since World War II has the United States won. By any reasonable standard of winning a war, there's none. We have created chaos around the world, we've destabilized the world, we have projected power in an effort to try to help corporations build profits, and we say it's about freedom and democracy, which is an unmitigated lie. It has nothing to do with freedom and democracy because our government's allied with some of the worst tyrants in the world, so we have no real respect for democracy. So I'd like to ask the Congresswoman to explain to Missourians why our tax dollars should be going to an increase in military spending rather than a massive decrease in military spending and make it defense spending. And I feel very passionately about this. I'm sorry if I'm getting worked up, but basically what we're dealing with here is a huge scam the military-industrial complex is pulling on all of us, taking our tax dollars that are sorely needed, particularly after this tax scam bill was passed that's going to cut revenue and force us to have to cut Medicare and cut Medicaid, cut Social Security, and cut everything else that we as citizens depend on. Environmental protection, workplace protection, you can go down the list, education. All of these programs are going to be facing a budget axe because of the fact that Congress has passed two things, a tax cut for the wealthy and an increase in military spending. And there's no justification. So that's my first question.
Well, what I'd like to do, if I may, can we go around the table and come back to your second question after?
That would be okay.
But there are a lot of issues you brought up, and I think to respond to the military issue, the United States Constitution requires that federal spending be focused to a great deal on our national defense. We must provide for the common defense. That's in the Constitution.
I don't argue with that.
No, but that's what we're doing. That's why
No, it's not what we're
Congresswoman
doing.
Hartzler.
Our
Please
military
allow me
is
to
not
answer. Allow me to answer, if you will. Congresswoman Hartzler is a very strong supporter of our men and women in uniform. She's a very strong supporter of our national defense. At a time when we have rogue nations like North Korea threatening us with nuclear weaponry, she does not believe it is any time to let down our guard. And again, the Constitution does require it. She believes that following the Constitution is imperative and critical at this stage in our development as a country. And you brought up the tax bill, but I'm sure maybe other people have issues about taxes, so just to make sure everybody gets an opportunity, if we could just move around the table.